Silence. What is silence? A general understanding like no sound, no noise, right? And if quite deeper you go, so it means like no vision. So that's a quite deeper level of silence. So if we can say no perception of hearing, no perception of vision, so it's a deeper level of silence. And we can say in totally void, right? So why silence? If you try to understand the very nature of silence, so it's a neutral in its own nature. The reality or the real nature of existence is silence, a real nature which is neutral nature, right? So as silence is the neutral state, a neutral state of any form of existence, so don't you think it's we can consider that this point as a starting point, a point where from things can start, or where things starts, because it's a rest. Yes, we can link silence with rest, right? Because the restness is the true nature of the existence, which is silence as well, right? So this silence, if it is true nature of neutral nature of the existence, so from this neutrality things start, right? And those things, what are those things? It can be like start point of our thought process, it can be like a start point of our imagination, the starting point of our understanding about ourselves, about the surrounding, about the world, about the existence itself, right? So if this is the starting point, so definitely silence itself is keeping a weightage over here, right? So as we are trying to understand full silencer, what you can say, silencer dimension itself, the silence is spare. So silence, as I said, it's like a true nature, it's like a real nature or neutral nature of the existence itself. So as, so when we are saying, so the start of these all form of things starts from the silence. So it can be like start of our wonderful journey about the philosophical journey, a wonderful journey about the our spiritual journey, because as we can say, the many or majority, I shall say majority of the religions are linking their spiritual pursuit with silence, right? And it can be like a journey of intellectual pursuit. So as I'm discussing about this silence in its own nature, how silence is, some might say it has peace, because after all it's a relatable to peace, right? But if you try to understand, peace is quite different thing than silence, because silence is a restness. It's a neutral state, a neutral state of everything, right? But peace is not a neutral state. Peace is the silence can be the what you can say, the condition for peace, and peace can be the result of silence, but peace is not silence, right? When we are talking about the peace is our understanding about the word, after understanding every single thing, after being too active about our thought process, too active about the understanding about the word, understanding the other humans, understanding the true nature of existence. If we understand and try to accept those things, we accept those every existence in our own self, then we can live peacefully, because we know whatever is happening, everything is not in our hand. So when we have this kind of understanding, so we tend to link ourselves with the rhythm, and we come in that peace, the moment of peace. But silence is not about activity at all. Silence is about totally rest, right? Over here you do not think, over here nothing is happening, it's just a silent, a rest mode, right? And look at our, even our universe. When you go outside, you might have read in science or these documentaries that outside space is void, it's silent, there is no medium of traveling sound, right? When there is no medium, so the state of the universe is silent in its own nature. So when that's the silent, that's the true nature of our universe, which can we can consider that as the like greatest creation. Like we never know that how big universe is, what's the extent of universe. I know we are putting data as per our satisfaction as of now, but in true nature we really are not able to understand how big is universe. If that big universe's natural state, neutral state is silence, so you can understand the value of silence, you can understand the power of silence, right? And yes, if you try to understand silence, so silence, it is, yes, Every single human, every single life, they can experience a silence in their life. You will have to just cut off from the conditions, cut off from your surroundings, so you can get the condition of silence. But still there are the people who can't go or can't live with that peace, or that kind of that mode of silence. Because when they see those things, when they go inside, so their mind starts chattering. Their mind is too much busy in these outsides world, too much busy in thinking about the world, so that they can't bear silence. Silence become like a painful thing for them. When they go into this silence, the state of silence, so they feel loneliness, because they never open their other side of brain, like that as I said, the pursuit of those creativity, imagination, thinking. They just think about the normal state of life, and in normal state of life, silence is definitely painful, because you don't get those visual views, you don't get those hearings, right? So a silent literally hurts those persons who are not what you can say enlightened, or who are not little into those spiritual thing, or into those thought process, or who literally want to use the silence, who don't understand the value of this rest, who don't understand the value of neutrality. So that starting point of everything is the neutrality. So those persons, they don't understand, and when they don't understand about this thing, so definitely they can't follow these any kind of pursuit, because to move toward those directions, you need to come at this point, a rest, right? Which majority of our society is unable to link themselves. They don't know what's a rest. They think it's a painful thing, they think it's a painful condition. But if you ask yourself, because whatever we do, however we do, at the last, life's starting was rest, the end of life would be rest. You just take anything on our earth, anything on our perception, everything is at rest. Even the flowing air also rest at its own normal nature, right? A water which is flowing also has a resting point. Whatever is happening, every sort of cycle has a resting point. When everything is resting, so definitely we'll have to accept that rest, or this silent nature, is the true nature or true neutrality of our own existence, about the existence of every single thing, right? So this is the point of what I understood about silence. So I know definitely some people, they go into and they tend to go and pursue themselves. They enjoy the silence. They go and they use silence for their creativity, silence for their development, silence for their achievement. But on other side, we have one more crowd who does not understand the silence of what you can say, the power of silence. So these kind of persons are suffering more in our life. We see these kind of persons, how many are suffering outside. So majority of them are those kind of persons who do not understand the value of silence. They take silence as a painful condition. And yes, I know we tend to enjoy these kind of topics a lot. Yes, you if you liked this today's topic and we discussed about this, I believe that because whatever I feel, I speak. You person also have your own thought process. If you are agreeing with me, that's okay. If you are not agreeing with me, you do not agree with me, so that's okay one. Because after all, you also have your own thinking. My way is over here. I just want to put a point in front of you that you can think about whatever I'm discussing, whatever I understand about the point I put in front of you. And I expect you to think about these things. That's the only purpose of this video. And yes, if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and share, because we want to grow this community. I want more and more people to listen, more and more people to join and understand and start thinking about these things. Because whatever we might be involved in our surrounding, our life process, our those so-called physical entertainments, that's okay. We have to do those things. After all, that's the beauty of life. We have to enjoy each and every single thing. But while enjoying those things, we have to little, at least give little side in our heart or our mind to think about these things as well. Because after all, the purpose of life or understanding is life. Understanding about the life is one of the big thing, or I shall say it's like one of the main purpose of our own existence, right? By then, Take care.